last time on Island ADV.
Well, fellow Island Riders, we're on our way to Saint-Anne-de-Mont and Cap Chat. I was really hoping to see some cool coastal blacktop, and my goodness, this is delivering, man. Alright, good morning folks. So we're just pulling out of camp here at Gaspe National Park. And sleep review, I was cold. I mentioned this on the last overnight from up near Murdochville, and holy smokes, did I ever not consider the altitude, the fact that we're north of New Brunswick, north on the Gaspe Peninsula right now, so that everything would just be much colder. I ended up having to drape like all my gear over top of me on the sleeping bag to maintain some like heat. But yeah, it was a bit of a wake-up call in the middle of the night, if you will. But I did sleep well, actually. Probably tonight, despite all that, was my most consistent sleep, so very happy about that. I think the secret to that was just identifying that I needed to warm up right away and get that going again. But the plan now is to back our way out of the mountains, go to the coast up to Saint-Anne-de-Mont, back where we were yesterday before we dropped into camp, and then take a look at all of our options for the route today. We have two options for wild camp on the table right now. I'm not sure about one. I am more sure about the other. But once we get in there, we get some signal, we got to be able to see the terrain a little bit. We'll be able to determine which one we want to shoot for first, and have the other as a backup. But I think overall today it's going to be a lot more Trans-Québec trail, maybe a little coastal stuff, so we'll bring you along when things get interesting. Société de Gestion de la Rivière de Cap Chat. I think this is another conservation group, and I think we got to pay a toll, which I'm totally fine with doing. ZEC de Cap Chat, droit d'accès. I'll speak to the folks inside.
Okay.
So once again, it was time to shake a little bit of the rust off of my French and see if I could figure out how to get past this little gatehouse here. And this gatehouse was part of the ZEC de Cap Chat, which sits on La Rivière de Cap Chat. And this is the second time we'd run into one of these ZECs, so I started to get really curious about what they were. Luckily, the lady inside of the gatehouse was really accommodating and helped me out with my French, and I learned quite a bit.
Oh.
It's very nice.
Oh.
Probably a lot of people appreciate that.
Je dois essayer. So ZEC, zone écologique de contrôle, je pense. But I think what ZEC means is it's like exactly what we had thought it was last time when we were at Rivière de Madeleine, is that it's a conservation group that's under the government of Quebec that looks at the population of, the fish and the wildlife and the ecology of the area here, and just kind of reports back and gives them a little bit of information, and then they get oversight, I guess, from Quebec on how they distribute funds that are likely given to them for efforts for conservation. But to bring you up to speed, folks, we are back on the Trans-Québec Trail. Today we are headed towards Amqui. Yeah, okay, I've been pronouncing it wrong. She helped me, she corrected me. But yeah, we're headed towards Amqui today. We have, from what I can expect, about 180 kilometers to traverse, which puts Brandon into the reserve on his tank. So again, it's got to be another long stretch. We do have pretty much full tanks. We're about 20 kilometers deep on each trip odometer, so I think we've got it. We were fine last time. But I believe that today this will be our last real segment of the Trans-Québec Trail. So we're just going to enjoy it as much as we can and have fun enjoying some of these pretty picturesque rivers. Look at that, beautiful. Just side-eyeing the road while I do this.
This is what I was talking about earlier in the series about this area, the Trans-Québec Trail, the Gaspe Z, all being an amazing spot for fly fishing. And I can tell you, as I'm editing this, as I'm watching this back, I'm definitely coming back with a fly rod. That whole gatehouse was just a complete outfitter shop with flies, and I can tell you for sure there's absolutely a network of guides that can take you through these rivers and make sure you get a good catch. And I'll definitely get into that some point in my future.
What a beautiful stretch of dirt road, eh? It's just been like this all trip. Just these awesome closed-in dirt roads. Oh, perfect. Like this trail system, this whole trail network is just so well put together. I'm very, very impressed. Oh, beautiful, man. Oh my God, the fishing is so incredible there. Look at that. Do you see that little V that's forming with the foam? That's a money shot. Oh, what a good cast too. Right, perfect. Right into the... I'd be surprised they didn't get something out of that. Love seeing these mountain ranges, folks, coming across through here, just down through the valleys, just so pretty. It's been the tail of the trail the whole trip long, and it's delivered on every expectation and offered just the tiniest bit more than what I never thought I'd wanted to. Now I have it, and I'm very appreciative of everything. So, the original plan for today was for us to continue on the Trans-Québec Trail and to stop using the trail, go to Amqui and find a wild camp. However, we just passed through Etang à la Truie, and so like trout pond, and it's part of the Matang wildlife conservation area, if you will. And we started thinking, why not just camp here? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Amqui, we're going to get supplies, we're going to move back here. That whole process is going to take us about the span of 2.5 hours, which puts us right on the check-in time for this campsite, which number one, kind of makes it meant to be, and number two, it adds about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours to our ride day tomorrow, which brings tomorrow's ride day to a nice even 6 hours, which is just right. So I think this is what we want to do. So looking forward to enjoying more Trans-Québec Trail entirely, and looking forward to that site. We looked at it. I don't have any video for you right now. We'll check it out when we move into camp tonight together, but it looks really nice. Sometimes this trail surprises you, folks. Like, I mean, we were just on a nice, pleasant dirt road. Now we're in this bushwhack dual track. But it's kind of fun. It's a nice little wake up. Keeps it interesting for sure. I saw a Northern 901 on the dirt road, and I can see his trail sign through some of the mud. Definitely sporting some kind of battle axe tire of some kind, the looks of it, but it was definitely a single run. Well, folks, we are back from Amqui, and we're getting pretty close to camp now. We got our supplies, And what a view, eh? That's crazy. Isn't that nuts? Man, that's just the whole, you know, name of the game for this trail. Like, it's just been crazy. But despite the amount of time that took, which was, you know, a little bit more than I anticipated, but not by too much, I don't think. We still got a little ways before we get into camp. I think it was worth it still. It evens out the ride days quite a bit. And I think it'll make for a great day tomorrow, actually. Should be the middle one right there, man. Oh, it's a beauty sight. Look at that. We would do that too. The old shift lever here, actually. Get on out of your way. Took that first spill. Just grabbed up a bunch of stuff. And it's been sloppy ever since, and it's been causing me to miss gears and stuff. It's terrible. Whenever the shift lever gets that bad, it's really annoying. Might be time for a new shift lever, to be honest. Yeah, overall the bike has been running really good despite everything that we've been putting it through. Long days in the dirt. Today was our longest day in the dirt, actually. Yeah, the longest by far. We stepped out of camp this morning probably around 9 o'clock, and then we had dirt right away, you know, for probably about half an hour, which isn't too much. But once we got through Cap Chat and got into Cap Chat, it was just dirt all day long, and we've been running it. And our 6-hour ride day turned into, like, I think something like 7. But we're here in camp, and we made this call, and I think it was the best call, because look at this, it's beautiful. It's just an amazing view, and it's so quiet, it's so peaceful here. It's way better than, you know, digging through the woods looking for a hole to sleep in the forest, right? But we are gonna go into routine, which is us getting our stuff set up, getting the stuff that was wet this morning dry, and then we'll get a fire going, we'll get some sausages going, and we'll have a good time tonight. And then tomorrow, it's our last day in Quebec, the last day on the Trans-Québec Trail, where we deviate, go through Amqui, head towards New Brunswick. And then we stay overnight at Carlton Mountain National Park. We have a nice campground there as well. And then after that, it's back home to Prince Edward Island. But for tonight, we still have one awesome night in camp, so we'll pick you up when things get cool. And if I don't see you before then, I'll see you in the morning when we roll out of here.